Stuart, are you there?
Hello, Mark. Good morning. Yes, I am here.
Good. Glad to see you.
Hello, everybody at home. Yeah.
Yes. Hi, everyone at home, and welcome to episode 2 of our Home Holiday Club. As you can see, Stuart and I are outside of our homes today. I've just been doing a bit of work on this tree house that I'm building for my children. Stuart, what are you up to?
I've just wheeled in some sand here for my cement mixer. I thought I would, I've got a wall that needs a bit of repair. I thought I'd get on with that at some point today.
Well, seems like a great day for repairing a wall. And
Absolutely.
you know, both of these things fit nicely with today's story, which is all about building.
So it is. So look, we'll get cleaned up here, I think. And I think we've got a messy challenge for you guys at home to have a look at and try out later on today, maybe. So we'll see you in a minute.
See you in a moment. Today's messy challenge is a game that involves racing fish across a bowl of water. In your pack for today, you'll find a small paper fish and a couple of paper straws. All you need to add is a bowl of water, and then you have to blow the fish across the top of the water, forwards and backwards as many times as you can in 20 seconds. If you want, you could try using 2 straws, finding a bit of paper and cutting a different sized fish and see what works best.
Oh, that was a great messy challenge, Mark. I think I'm looking forward to trying that one at home, maybe this afternoon myself. But guys, if you saw our first episode, you'll know that we told a story about what happened when Jesus went to visit the home of 2 sisters. And they both realized, they came to realize what was the most important thing for them. And for Mary, that was absolutely sitting and listening to what Jesus had to say to her, and that was the important thing. Yeah.
And today's story is a story that Jesus told about what is really important. As you can see, we're no longer at home. In fact, we're here on Bamborough Beach in Northumberland, which is quite close to Stuart's home.
Yep.
Stuart, is that your home?
What, that enormous castle on a rock, Mark? No, that is actually Bamborough Castle. I live a few miles inland in a slightly smaller house, actually.
Okay.
But it's good to be here. But why are we here?
Stuart, we're here because this is a fantastic place to retell a story that Jesus originally told about 2 men, 2 builders, a wise builder and a foolish builder.
Well, great. Well, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Right.
The foolish man built his house on the sand. When a storm rolled in and the waves came up, the house on the sand fell flat.
But the wise man built his house on a solid rock. And when the wind sprang up and the waves came powering in, the house on the rock stood absolutely firm. So I was just thinking, Mark, I mean, Bamborough Castle is a bit like that wise man's house built on a rock.
It is.
They certainly knew where to build a castle, didn't they?
Yes.
I mean, apparently there's been some kind of a castle on that rock for the last 1,500 years.
That's a long time.
It is a long time. And even apparently the present building has been there for 120 years.
120 years?
Yeah, so
wow.
it just shows you, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But Mark,
why did Jesus tell a story about house building?
It's a very good question, Stuart. Now, I think what Jesus was saying was that just as it's important where you build a house or a castle, what we build our lives on, what we base our lives on, is also incredibly important. Well, what a great and exciting story. Now, just before Jesus told that story, he'd been teaching the people about how God wanted them to live.
Yeah, I mean, he said that famous thing about the speck in someone's eye when you've got a log on your own, you know, don't judge or criticize other people when there's actually something wrong with your own life you need to deal with.
Yeah, and he said that we should treat other people the way that we would want to be treated ourselves.
Oh, yes. You know, I mean, so much of Jesus' teaching is still very well known by lots of people.
It is. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But in today's story, Jesus is saying that it isn't really enough just to listen to his teaching, as much as it's not enough to listen to any teaching, like we saw Mary doing in our first episode. But what's important is trying to do it, to put it into practice.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, Christians today do try to do that, and we know we can ask God to help us with his Holy Spirit to help us do those things. But Mark, you know, I'm just thinking, when we're on the beach, is that what you meant when you mentioned Jesus being the foundations of our life, or building our life on Jesus? Is that what you had in mind? What does that mean?
Exactly. Well, like any building or anything, it's important to have a solid foundation, a solid base to build it on, like the rock in the story, or like a solid concrete slab that we have here. For Christians in our lives, we try to base everything in our lives on Jesus.
Okay.
So when it comes to how we get on with and treat other people, well, we base it on Jesus. How did he do that? What did he say about that? Or the decisions we make about how to act and behave. We try to base that on Jesus. What did he say? What did he do? How can we be like him? Or even what we do and how we respond in difficult situations. We try to base it all on Jesus.
Right.
I wonder what it would look like, Stuart, if we managed to base all of our lives on Jesus and be much more like him.
There's a challenge, but it's a good one, I think, to have a go at. There's a lot there, Mark, for us to take on board and to really think about, but not just think about it, do it as well. Yeah,
indeed. I think it's important for us all to think, whether we're Christians or not, what important things do we base our lives and the way that we live? What do we base it all on? We'll leave you with that thought, and we hope you can join us for another episode tomorrow.
So today in your pack, you've got a little packet of magic sand, which you can take out, mould, play with, build something with. Maybe you could make a little model home, and if you want to keep it, you can put it in a little pot, keep it sealed, and you can use it again and again and again. Then we've got a little challenge for you today. So maybe you could go out and about in your garden or anywhere else that you've got locally, and you can do a bit of stacking with some stones, just like those builders in the story. We'll show you a few examples just here. And then any that you manage to do, you could get your grown-ups to take a picture of and pop on the Facebook page so we can all have a look later. And then today you've got another postcard to have a wee look at, a reminder of the story, and then a couple of questions on the back to talk about with your grown-up. See you tomorrow.